Connecting IRL series, that's short for In Real Life, and taking a look at fostering friendships. According to a study last year, many adults long for closer friendships and more time with friends. Kelley Kitley calls herself America's social worker, and she is joining us now this morning. It's great to have you, Kelley. Welcome.
Hey. Thank you. So good to be here.
So we were just having this conversation before we came on here because it is so difficult, I think, for adults to connect to other adults. And this is something that you're seeing. Why do you think that is so hard for some to make these new relationships?
You are absolutely right, Whit. You know, when we're in school, we have people within proximity, and it's easy to be around like-minded people, and we form groups. But when we get older, we start distancing ourselves, just not on purpose, but because we're maybe advancing in our career, or we're getting married or having children. And so the common interests change and people get busy. And so it's really important to hold on tight to the friendships that you do have. And it may not be somebody in your neighborhood. You know, I have friends that we will meet up twice a year and have really close, intimate relationships from a distance.
And we were talking about this, everyone's busy. You know, we were saying most of our friendships come through work or our kids. You know, what's your advice to people who are trying to make new relationships in the middle of these, you know, really busy seasons of life?
Sure. So we have to make it a priority because any behavior change that we have, we need to have top of mind and be action oriented. So whether that's having coffee with someone or meeting somebody at a yoga class, it is about taking risk. I call it friend dating sometimes, you know. And if you see the same person that, you know, we can feel each other's energy, and maybe you're drawn to somebody in a class that you're with, whether it's an art class or a walking group, and say, hey, would you be interested in having coffee with me? And fostering the relationships too that we already have when we're already busy, we can make a call in the car on our way to work, or by sending somebody a text message and letting them know that we're thinking about them. So it is about small action items that make people feel important and connected.
You know, when we met, I was admitting to you that I like to be a little selective, right? And as we age, there really is a reason why we become more selective with our friendships.
You're absolutely right, because we don't have as much time and we want quality over quantity. So if we're showing up, you know, some of my clients will say, I was at a party last night and there were 50 people there. I felt lonely. And I said, well, how many in-depth connected conversations did you have? We're just kind of bopping around having small talk. Ask somebody, so what new project are you working on? What are you passionate about? Getting to a deeper connection by asking open-ended questions rather than, hey, how was your family vacation? You know, just kind of chit-chat.
We were joking about Gio being so selective because he has so many friends, right? It's a
Gio
lot
has the
easier when
opposite
you're in
problem.
that situation, exactly. So what is your advice to adults who are trying to make these new friendships?
Sure. So whether you're in a season of parenting or retirement or empty nesting, it is about making sure that you find people who have common interests. So, for example, my husband's an actor, and we have lots of people that we go and see shows with, and then we'll talk about that afterwards. You know, finding other people who have interests similar to ours, whether it's working out or cooking. I always suggest my clients sign up for a class because it's 6 weeks, and if it's not what you expected and it's not great, it ends.
And once you make that connection, how do you maintain it? Because that's hard too.
Maintaining friendships in middle age is difficult. And so I think giving ourselves some grace and some compassion, sometimes I'll hear people say, well, they just don't make the effort anymore. And I encourage people to make the effort and extend an olive branch, and you will get that in return. And usually people's response is, I'm so busy too. I'm so sorry. Let's get something on the calendar. So I joke sometimes, you know, we have to look 6 weeks ahead of time for a coffee date.
Right,
But you know what? When you leave, you will feel so much better and so glad that you made that.
And like you said, just a simple text message can go a long way sometimes.
It absolutely can. It feels so good.
And that point, too, that sometimes we're always blaming the other person, but we need to
totally.
look inward, too, at our own actions and our own efforts to maintain these relationships. Thank you so much, Kelley. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Great to be here. Thanks, you guys.
And be sure to check out the Kelley Kitley podcast, America's Social Worker Unfiltered. Thank you again.
And let's also plug your
Oh,
book.
yeah, we got the book.
Yes.
Myself. There's the book. It's a beautiful cover.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you
so much.